Thank you for joining us for this look at some of the best stories from KPBS News this week. I'm John Carroll. Coming up, the cost of living squeezes out a safe haven. Katie Hyson tells us why a trusted space for those in recovery will soon have to close its doors. San Diego remembers Pearl Harbor. Andrew Dyer shows us this year's ceremony as younger generations step up to honor those who were lost. And one of our most popular stories this week, we'll have Eric Anderson's look at why local solar companies are struggling to stay in business. We start with a new state law that expands who can be treated involuntarily for a mental crisis. KPBS health reporter Matt Hoffman says local implementation will be delayed.
In California, involuntary treatment policy has remained largely unchanged since it was written and signed into law in 1967. So this change, SB 43, I think, as we've established, is a big deal.
Before supervisors voted whether or not to delay SB 43, which would allow more people with severe substance abuse disorders to be involuntarily treated, San Diego County's Behavioral Health Services Director Luke Bergman told the board this expansion would be far-reaching.
SB 43 will almost certainly result in many more folks being brought into emergency departments with similar presentations. But SB 43 comes with no new resources.
That's a major concern for the county's hospital systems, which supported delaying implementation for up to a year.
We're simply not ready today to start the system. None of our hospitals disagree with the context of trying to get people help. It's more about having a system in place so that we can be successful.
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria spoke out against the vote to delay implementation. He understands that hospitals are already busy, but
they are caring for this population today, and then they discharge them onto our sidewalks. And I have to feel like San Diegans feel as though a hospital setting is a better place for very sick people, is better than the sidewalk, which is where they're ending up now. We've got to figure this out, and delaying is not going to help us figure it out. It's just going to delay us having to make the tough choices that we know are ahead.
Officials from the city's police and fire department say first responders are currently in a tough spot.
Police officers shouldn't be mental health workers on the street, but we get called because we're the only ones that have the duty to respond.
My firefighters, paramedics, and EMTs see the same individual cycles from the streets to the emergency rooms, back out to the streets, to jails.
In a 3-2 vote, supervisors ultimately agreed with Chair Nora Vargas's proposal to have more time to develop how this expanded involuntary treatment will actually work.
That our county team has never been afraid to implement smart policies or to address some tough issues. But I also insist that we've always been very careful and that we do things right and we do it well. Because we're talking about real people.
We can't overrun our emergency rooms. We just can't do that. We can't take that risk.
Supervisors Joel Anderson and Tara Lawson-Reamer voted against delaying implementation. Lawson-Reamer questioned county officials, suggesting they could have been moving quicker.
And I think I'm a little concerned that we weren't focused with the urgency and the crisis that I think that this demands.
Supervisors did agree to have staff report back in 90 days to assess if there's a possibility that this involuntary treatment expansion could happen sooner. Earlier Tuesday, the San Diego City Council voted to declare a behavioral health bed crisis. Part of that directed staff to explore easing zoning or finding additional funding to create more beds.
Not just for homeless people, it's for any number of people who don't have the proper care. And it's working with hospitals, first responders, a lot of the organizations that the city has to partner with. They are taking on the brunt, and we're trying to call on other levels of government to do what they can.
County officials say a lack of outpatient behavioral health beds often leads to people staying hospitalized longer than needed. The county has also been working on crisis treatment diversion programs to help keep people out of emergency rooms. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
San Diego's Affordable Housing Agency is getting a new CEO. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen says Lisa Jones is the nominee to lead the San Diego Housing Commission.
We are here today because Lisa Jones tells the truth.
The San Diego Housing Commission administers the city's homelessness and affordable housing dollars. Jones has been at the commission for 6 years, overseeing multiple contracts with nonprofits that provide shelter and assistance for the homeless. Board member Ryan Klumpner says she's compassionate and honest, willing to tell policymakers the unvarnished truth.
She tells us the truth about how many people are sleeping on our streets, how many people ask for shelter, but we don't have sufficient shelter to offer them. And she tells the truth, perhaps most importantly, when we make mistakes, and it tells us what we can do to learn from and correct those mistakes.
Jones takes the helm as San Diego's homeless population continues to grow. People are getting off the streets and into housing, but even more people are becoming homeless for the first time.
We have hard times ahead. We have hard times in front of us right now. And thank you, Commissioner Ryan, Commissioner Klempner, for telling the truth that it's not always going to be easy, but we have the right people at our council. We have our partner in Mayor Todd Gloria. We have an executive leadership team that is excited and ready to do the work.
One of Jones's first big challenges is a proposal from Mayor Todd Gloria to develop new shelter space on a 5-acre lot just west of the San Diego airport. The space could provide hundreds of San Diegans a safe place to sleep at night, moving them away from the city's sidewalks, parks, and freeways. But the proposal is facing fierce backlash from residents in neighboring Point Loma. Jones has to be confirmed by a vote of the city council. That's scheduled for next Tuesday. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
San Diego's rising rents have left LGBTQ+ substance recovery groups searching for a permanent home. KPBS reporter Katie Hyson spoke with members about why it's needed.
Music from Auntie Helen's thrift store in North Park filters into the back room, where substance use recovery groups meet.
Hello, Julia. My sober date's 8/23/01.
Most are former members of the Live and Let Live Alano Club Recovery Center in Hillcrest, a prominent LGBTQ+ neighborhood.
It was safe. I was able to be myself. I was able to speak freely and openly about my addiction problems and the fact that I am a gay person.
Hoover says that often wasn't the case in heteronormative recovery groups elsewhere in the city. Another former member, Alexis Gabrielle, echoed this.
Sometimes when we walk the streets of San Diego, we do see the people on the side of the street that are down and out. I was one of those people.
She found Live and Let Live a few years ago.
I was able to find a safe place when I was feeling uncomfortable, and by doing so, I was able to work on myself very deep. I call it my 911.
A lifesaver. Many former members say the same, that Live and Let Live was often the thing standing between them and using again. It was open all day, with a wide range of recovery meetings, not just for substance use. Volunteers were always around to talk. Wearing a sparkling gown and crown, Alexis Gabrielle tells me she learned a vital lesson there.
That we can rise from where we were before without shame and hold our heads high, but the door's closed.
Live and Let Live didn't own the building. San Diego rents began to skyrocket, compounding already existing financial trouble. After nearly 4 decades, they closed last fall. The dozens of support groups scattered throughout the city to locations that weren't as well suited. Many say downtown locations trigger their urge to use again. Churches can carry baggage. And while Live and Let Live was nearby, many now have to take buses or walk long distances to get to meetings. It doesn't always feel safe, they say, especially with recent anti-LGBTQ+ legislation across the country.
I'm personally tired of always having to look behind my back, over my shoulder, on buses and walking.
He says meeting attendance dropped sharply after Live and Let Live closed.
They've all dispersed and they've gone away. I was like, wow, I couldn't, it was shocking.
Auntie Helen stepped up. It used to be a laundry service for people living with HIV/AIDS at a time when many refused to even touch their clothing. It's offered support to San Diego's LGBTQ+ people for decades. Management allowed some of the displaced recovery groups to clear out the back room and move in 50 chairs and a podium. But the space closes as soon as meetings end. It doesn't offer the same anytime safety net of a recovery center. That's why Heather Pato is now searching for a permanent home.
I am actually one of the unusual people who doesn't do the pronoun thing because I did 20 years in the military where I actually had to use they, them, their, and things to kind of disguise my relationships. So it's sort of like an uncomfortable thing.
Pato didn't feel safe to enter San Diego's LGBT center. But Pato did feel safe to attend Live and Let Live, where the association with LGBTQ+ people was maybe less obvious to outside observers. There, Pato could be rigorously honest, one of the core tenets of recovery. Pato and Pato's partner launched a nonprofit and are now hoping to own a building to replace that lost space. They plan to name it the Lambda Uptown Alano Club. Lambda as a nod to the symbol of gay and lesbian rights, Uptown as the intended location.
With all the high-rises that have been built in the Hillcrest area, a lot of the LGBT community has migrated more toward North Park.
They say they've asked local leaders about unused government buildings, but haven't heard back. When I spoke with them, they didn't know that Auntie Helen's is about to close too, on December 31st. The owner told me after 36 years, the rent is more than they can afford. He says he negotiated for the groups to have continued use of the back room. Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
Katie Hyson is also one of the guests on the latest KPBS Roundtable. She's talking about her coverage of the push to prosecute drug dealers for fatal overdoses. You can listen at kpbs.org or wherever you get your podcasts. In North County, what's being called routine maintenance by some is described as hostile architecture by others. Alexander Wynn tells us how some benches at Swami's Beach in Encinitas are part of a larger discussion over who gets to use them.
Swami's Beach is beloved by locals for its great view of the ocean. Surfers love it for the great waves. One of the ways locals enjoy the beach is by sitting on the memorial benches. That's why some were shocked when the city suddenly removed them on November 17th. The city said it was for maintenance and repair. Some of them are back now with a new addition.
The benches before didn't have the center divider in them.
The city says it added the armrest to match the, quote, preferred standards of city benches. But some locals think it was done for another reason.
They had a problem with homeless people sleeping here. And
Robert Stein has lived in Encinitas for 25 years and is a frequent visitor to Swami's Beach.
There's a lady right over there right now with probably 25 bags there, and she's here all the time, and often a number of them, just scattered about.
He says neighbors have complained about the homelessness problem at Swami's for years. While he's never had issues with unsheltered residents, others like Larry Day have had some encounters with belligerent individuals.
Out of the whim, yelling at my face. And I had to actually push him back because he was so drunk.
This concrete block on this bench right here is what some homeless advocates are calling hostile architecture because it prevents homeless people from lying down.
While the city didn't outright say it was the reason the concrete blocks were installed, in a Facebook post, Encinitas Deputy Mayor Joy Lin says the city is encouraging sitting in that many benches around the region are designed to discourage sleeping. The city says the rest of the benches will be returned after they have been power washed, resealed with anti-graffiti coating, and the armrest installed. Alexander Wynn, KPBS News.
This week brought us the annual Pearl Harbor Remembrance. It's now been 82 years since that fateful day in Hawaii. KPBS military reporter Andrew Dyer shows us this week's event at the USS Midway Museum, where younger generations now play a bigger role.
Here is the actual bombing of the mighty USS Arizona.
It was 82 years ago on the island of Oahu that a sleepy Sunday morning turned into a day that lives in infamy. The surprise attack plunged the U.S. into World War II and changed the course of the 20th century. In San Diego, the day is marked every year with a ceremony on the flight deck of the USS Midway Museum, a ship itself named for a battle in the war that followed the attack. Museum marketing director David Kuntz says time hasn't diminished the day's importance.
We had over 300 people here today, but I think what was even more gratifying for me was the fact that I have some people here that are in their 70s, 80s, and a few 90-year-olds, but I also looked out and I saw some very young people. I saw some 20-year-olds out here.
Photos of Pearl Harbor survivors featured in the ceremony. They included 2 local survivors and Dory Miller, who became the first black man awarded the Navy Cross for his actions that day, and for whom an aircraft carrier is to be named. Miller was killed in the war. The San Diego survivors, Stu Headley and Clayton Schenkelberg, both died in 2021. While some of their families attended, this was the third year in which no survivors made the ceremony.
I think it is really difficult to finally come to the realization that those who survived Pearl Harbor aren't going to last forever. And it's been over 8 decades, which means the youngest Pearl Harbor survivors today are probably 99 years old.
The ceremony closed with ringing bells, a wreath laying, and a vintage aircraft missing man flyover. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
Here are some of our most popular stories this week at kpbs.org. San Diego County Credit Union executives see big pay raises while customers pay millions in overdraft fees. A new report details rich lithium deposits in Imperial County. And Eric Anderson's story on the solar industry struggling with new regulations has a lot of interest. Here's that story.
And then actually install it and collect the revenue.
Ross Williams has worked in San Diego's residential solar industry since 2010. He's never seen anything this dark for an industry that enjoyed double-digit growth over the last decade.
Sales have been 20 to 30% year over year. And that's brutal. I mean, no company can survive where your sales are 30% of what they were last year, right? It's just a recipe for disaster.
HES Solar had fewer than 10 employees when Williams joined the firm more than a decade ago. He bought the company in 2015 in part because the future was bright. The workforce swelled to 75 by the beginning of the year, but under new solar rules that took effect in April, Williams was forced to cut jobs in July and again in August. The San Diego company is down to 35 workers.
It's the absolute worst, absolute worst. So our culture is family first, and it's very difficult to tell people that I've personally hired, with that promise, like, hey, we're going to be a spot for you. You work well for us. We're going to be there for you. To say, hey, sorry, can't employ you anymore. It's extremely difficult.
California's solar industry employed more than 78,000 people in 2023, 67,000 in the residential rooftop solar sector. Industry officials project 17,000 of those residential jobs will be snuffed out by the first quarter of next year, and prospects for the rest of the year remain dark.
The market in real time under the new net metering is 80% below where it was last summer.
Bernadette Del Chiaro is the executive director of the California Solar and Storage Association. She says the layoffs are exactly what the industry was warning about when regulators were revising the state's net energy metering rules. The NEM 3 rule changes slashed the value of electricity produced by rooftop solar, and that has crushed demand.
What the 80% is sales, and it's measured both by sales data collected in the aggregate across the industry as well as interconnection application. So that's the first step of the interconnection process.
The economic impacts are only part of the story. The decline will also hurt California's efforts to reach carbon neutrality by 2045. That requires slashing greenhouse gas emissions, cutting air pollution, and dramatically reducing fossil fuel consumption. Stanford University's Mark Jacobson says rooftop solar was expected to account for about a quarter of that energy production, but this year's rule changes may put that target out of reach as solar adoption stalls.
Slowing that down with hostile regulations to make it more expensive for people to put up rooftop solar is just going to slow down a transition, cause more air pollution deaths and morbidities in California, and raise prices as well.
Jacobson has studied pathways for California to electrify the state's economy. He says it will require greatly expanding wind energy, utility-scale solar, geothermal energy, battery storage, and solar from rooftops. He says regulators should be facilitators.
Every opportunity we have, regulators need to make it easy to put solar on, not more difficult, and not listen to these naysayers who are trying to make money by outlawing the inexpensive use of solar on people's homes.
The rule changes implemented this year are being challenged in court. The San Diego-based Protect Our Communities Foundation, the Center for Biological Diversity, and the Environmental Working Group asked the First District Court of Appeal in San Francisco to force regulators to reconsider the changes. The challenge argues the California Public Utilities Commission failed to support solar in disadvantaged communities and didn't account for all the benefits of rooftop solar. Regulators are also required to make sure the solar industry grows sustainably.
All three of those things are statutory requirements in the Public Utilities Code, and the Commission's decision doesn't meet those requirements.
The CPUC asked the court to reject the challenge in a legal filing. The court decided to hear the case. Oral arguments are scheduled for December 13th. It's unclear when a decision might be rendered. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
It's a wonderful time of the year for film lovers. KPBS film critic Beth Accomando says Digital Gym Cinema in East Village is the best place to find cinematic gifts this week.
For anyone mourning the loss of the Ken Cinema, San Diego does have one new venue that's trying to fill the void, Digital Gym Cinema. Starting tonight with the 4K restoration of Victims of Sin, you can discover just how diverse and stunning the programming is. Let's start with Havana-born Niñón Sevilla, who's less an actress and more a force of nature. In a series of Mexican films in the 1950s, she captivated audiences with her blonde bombshell looks and sensual dancing. In Victims of Sin, she plays Violetta, a cabaret performer whose life takes a downward spiral when she takes in an abandoned baby. The film mixes an intoxicating cocktail of seductive film noir, lush melodrama, and Catholic redemption. The 4K restoration highlights the incandescent beauty of both Sevilla and the black and white cinematography. Victims of Sin, in contrast to a lot of American noir, does not have a femme fatale orchestrating the downfall of hapless men, but rather gives us a fallen woman with a heart of gold. The melodrama sucks us in, but the noir underpinnings add a gritty edge. The cabaret backdrop lets Sevilla and the musicians shine and allows for some naughty songs that have now been translated and subtitled. Plus, we get to see vibrant female characters who display surprising agency. Next up, Studio Ghibli's The Boy and the Heron opens on Friday. Director, writer, and animator Hayao Miyazaki has been called the Japanese Walt Disney, but perhaps the more accurate description I've heard is calling him the Kurosawa of animation, because his stories are complex and epic. The film features hand-drawn cell animation, and, as with all Miyazaki's films, it's visually breathtaking. In terms of artistry as well as narrative, The Boy and the Heron is far superior to any animated film Hollywood is releasing this holiday season. On Saturday, Digital Gym exemplifies its diversity not just in terms of the films it shows, but how it shows them, as the touring See It on 16mm program returns with the holiday horror classic, Black Christmas. Audiences can delight not only in a 70s cult film that's often cited as the inaugural slasher movie, but also watching it with a 16mm projector purring in the cinema. And then close out the weekend with another unconventional Christmas movie, 1986's Cobra starring Sylvester Stallone.
The disease, and I'm the cure.
It closes out the Film Geek's year of action that I helped program, and will be serving pizza, Cobra style with scissors, at the screening. So treat yourself to an early holiday gift and go see any of these films at Digital Gym Cinema this week. Beth Accomando, KPBS News.
You can find more from Beth Accomando and the entire KPBS newsroom on our YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe and get notified when new content is posted. That's also where we live stream KPBS Evening Edition weeknights at 5. Back before electric and hybrid cars were as common as they are now, the emphasis was on fuel economy. One engineer took that challenge so seriously that in the early 80s, he built a car that got unheard of gas mileage. I got to talk to him about his creation and where it is now.
It looks like it came straight out of the future. This is the Avion car.
It would be logical to think you'd find such a special car inside the confines of the San Diego Automotive Museum, but instead it's found here at the Air and Space Museum because you see, the Avion is much more than just a car.
It's so streamlined. It's built much along the same way that airplanes are built. We use a lot of actually Boeing surplus components in it.
Craig Henderson built the Avion car.
I was working as an engineer out of college, and in college we were building cars at the Vehicle Research Institute.
That was in the early 80s. Henderson made the molds and the chassis himself. He'd work on it in the evenings after work, and after 3 years he was finished. As to the name, a colleague who designed the car came up with that. For you non-French speakers, Avion means airplane en français.
It's built kind of like a race car and airplane. And the streamlining is so very important, and the lightweight was important too.
Important because the main goal here was getting eye-popping fuel economy. On that, Henderson succeeded, to put it mildly.
We started at Dodger Stadium, drove down to the Tijuana border, turned around and went back up to the Canadian border. And we averaged 103.7 miles per gallon in 1986.
There's something else about the Avion car that Henderson was not thinking about when he built it. He calls it the grin factor. I found out what he meant on a drive around Balboa Park.
People smile, little kids love it, and maybe with that, they'll be motivated to go into science and technology and engineering and do what I did, think out of the box.
The first engine to power the Avion was out of a '67 VW Beetle. Henderson has since swapped that out for a newer engine, and with that, he was able to get even better mileage.
That's the thing about the Avion. It's really handsome, and it's a bonus that it gets 120 miles per gallon. When we drove from Canada in 2010, I had to stop for my support vehicle all the time because they were filling up with fuel. We only used 12.4 gallons to go from Bellingham to San Diego.
And San Diego is where it will stay for the foreseeable future. It's on long-term loan to the Air and Space Museum, right there amidst all the airplanes.
I'm John Carroll. Thank you for joining us.